What's going on? What's going on? This is your man, Big Stu, Scott Steward, Professor Steward, depending on how you know me. I like that. Come on in here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. Why does it seem like it's crooked? Is it crooked? Or am I crooked? I think it's me. What's going on? What Colin Kaepernick teaches us about entrepreneurship and the cost of success. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to catch the Colin Kaepernick situation on Netflix, I found it to be very enlightening and insightful, to say the least. For those of you who are continue to tune in to my content, you know that I am always pushing entrepreneurship. You know, that's just my thing. The name of the series on Netflix is about Colin, produced by Colin Kaepernick, is called Black and White. And you know, I'm about to spoil alert. But the thing about what I didn't know about Colin Kaepernick, I didn't recognize or understand his challenges, his adversity growing up. And you know, he grew up in, you know, he didn't grow up in abject poverty. He didn't grow up in any poverty. But that's not important. You don't have to grow up in poverty to be seen as real, right? Or to have your experiences diminished. You know, poverty is not necessarily required to have that happen, right? But what I will take away from it is Colin wanted to be a quarterback. And he really wanted to be a quarterback in the NFL. And nobody, although he was a good quarterback in high school, nobody thought that Colin Kaepernick would make it as a quarterback. Nobody thought that he would get a scholarship for college. Nobody thought that Colin Kaepernick would make it to the NFL. And there's a scene in there where, you know, he triples down on his football ability. He triples down. His senior year, it's the 11th hour. You know, baseball is what Colin Kaepernick was highly recruited for in high school, as early as his junior year. Multi-million-dollar opportunities in baseball. And everybody was telling this man that he should focus on baseball. Colin believed that he was an NFL quarterback. And that's what he wanted to focus on. And so what does that teach us about entrepreneurship? One, for me, is just like, yo, if you really believe in what you are doing, if you really believe in what you are doing, and I want to stop there. This is not me teaching. This is a conversation. So your responses in the chat help feed this conversation. This is not my Professor Stu hat on. This is my Big Stu, Scott Stewart hat on. But I believe that if you really believe in what you are doing, then it's important to stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. And there is a cost to that. There's a cost of success. So it was just really interesting to watch in that series that everybody was telling Colin Kaepernick what he should be doing, which was obvious. He had all the offers for baseball and absolutely zero offers to go to college for football. He had offers from the major leagues for baseball. Major League Baseball teams recruited Colin Kaepernick out of high school. They showed up to his house. All the teams imaginable wanted Colin Kaepernick to, after high school, go to Major League Baseball, and they were offering him whatever he wanted. And he would look those people dead in their eyes and be like, this ain't what I want. I want to be a quarterback. And so I think about sometimes, because I've been talking about what entrepreneurs don't talk about, what entrepreneurs are not talking about. And it's super important to recognize entrepreneurs, we are so caught up in the sexiness of entrepreneurship. I'm my own boss. I run my own business. I call my own shots. But what we're not talking about is how we make it through the challenging times, especially when it feels like nobody is believing in our vision. We're not articulating, what our mission is or what our purpose is. I know I personally have gone through the times where, people just simply could not articulate my work. They can't say, oh, Stu does this, Scott Steward does this. What's up, Craig? A lot of people, let me give you a wave. What's up? And let me know if you want to come on and join this conversation with me. It don't have to all be about me. We're talking about what entrepreneurs don't talk about and what the Colin Kaepernick Black and White series has taught me and the cost of success. And I'm just saying, like, there have been times when I found it challenging to get things going in business. And I know it would have just been super easier to just be like, forget it. Nobody's believing, nobody's honoring, everybody, But Colin has shown me what I believe in and what I've stuck to. I ain't crazy. Despite what everybody is saying, you gotta stick to your guns if you believe in what you're doing enough. Despite what everybody else saying, you should do this, that ain't gonna work. You gotta drown out the noise. You gotta drown out the noise and trust and believe and invest in yourself. Straight up, no chaser. Straight up, no chaser. I was also having a conversation with a very valuable colleague yesterday. This colleague made a post about, how people got a price. Like, people have changed their morals up at a price. Like, everybody will come on and some people, everybody will change, they switch up their price, but not me. I don't have no price. And I pushed back. I was like, everybody got a price. And they went on to talk about how, the post was intended for when it comes to your morals. And I'm like, man, I understood the assignment. I understood. And even when it comes to our morals and our beliefs, I believe that we'll give a lot of those up for little to nothing, right? Because I believe ultimately the cost of your sticking to your morals is death, right? Give me liberty or give me death. Like, what are you willing to die for? At the end of the day, your morals. Which morals? If it came down to it, like, die right now or switch up what you believe, how many of your beliefs will you be like, well, then you're just going to have to kill me? And I think that is the cost of success, which is why, 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying is so relevant to me. Because when I believe in something really strong, it is very difficult for me to give that up. And it's and that's where I've gotten the term of being hard-headed, right? And yeah, Colin Kaepernick had to deal with all that name calling. My dad said you made a stupid mistake. Like, for real, adults? Like, man, just because you don't see my vision, and I'm sticking to my guns, I'm stupid. I made a stupid mistake. If you believe in what you are doing, you're gonna have to keep with that even when nobody else is believing. And I mean, when it feels like even your parents, your closest people next to you, strangers that don't know you, when everybody else is telling you, that's stupid, man. You should go. Why you ain't take that contract? Why you ain't go with that customer, man? They offered you. You know, you heard Master P. If you ever, I mean, I know I'm old school, but Master P talk about, man, his brother, he was going back and forth with his brother when that record company offered him $1 million on the spot. They was going to write him a check, and Master P was even like, nah. Because if you could write me $1 million, then what can I make on my own? You know, so you have to, for yourself, have to understand what it is that you're doing as an entrepreneur. You have to understand for yourself what you're doing as an entrepreneur. The Colin Kaepernick Black and White series just taught me, like, you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else, period. And it may feel like you're making enemies. It may feel like you're going against the grain. It may feel like nobody is supporting you. And there will be times in your life, whether it's entrepreneurship or not, where you're going to have to make a decision because you believe in yourself that much, period, point blank. And that is the cost of success. Are you willing to be alienated at times to achieve your goals? That's the morality piece. That's the piece of price. Are you willing to be sacrificed or, held to the altar for believing in yourself? And I've been there. Like I've in this journey. I started this journey documenting my process towards ultimate success over the last, I think it's been now 5 years. In the last 5 years, I've lost the business. We used to be Project Tech teams. People are like, oh yeah, what happened to Project? We lost the business. And it's like, what you mean you lost the business? Like, there were a series of unfortunate events that took my focus away from Project Tech teams. When I came back to the focus, clients were like, man, you weren't here. And the people that you kind of left in charge, they couldn't really, because I didn't give them a lot of direction. And so, it's like, well, we're not ready to do business with you at this time. And so you lose 2 or 3 of those clients and you're a small business owner, you just starting out, you lost your business. And it was too heavy for me to keep going at that time. So we had to do a switch up. We had to revamp. And in that between the time of being like, damn, we lost all of our clients and switching up, I had to go back to work. I went back and took a job. I went back to Chicago Public Schools. I went crawling back with my tail between my legs. And I tried to, put it as, it was what it was. An offer came up. I didn't want to do it in my heart. I didn't want to do it, but I needed to do it. I had to do it. At least I felt like I had to do it to get me to where I am today. And so that cost of success? Like, I didn't have the fortitude at that time a few years ago, 3-4 years ago. I didn't have the fortitude to be like, nah, I ain't going back to work. I'm going to stick to my guns. Well, today, I find myself in almost some very similar situations because my largest client base is almost monopolistic. It's almost a monopoly. But I don't blame my client. And it's not a blame, but I take responsibility for myself because I have to expand my territory. I have to expand my vision. And what that means sometimes is the cost to get to that success. It could cost you what sometimes feels like your life. But here's what I want to offer up to you in this moment. When you feel like nothing is working out for you, when you feel like you can't get it right, when you feel like this is too hard, when you feel like nobody is believing in you, when you feel like people are you know, telling you that you should be doing something that you know you don't want to be doing, that you know ain't part of your passion, right? When you know doesn't work for you, I want you to step back and I want you to count your blessings. I want you to count the blessings. The blessings. And I want you to go, not just the big blessings. Like, be thankful that your computer that you've had for the last 6 years still works. Be thankful that you have the mental capacity to continue to create content. Be thankful that, you know, your health is in order, if that be your situation. Be thankful that you know that your best work has yet to be created. Like, be thankful that you don't need the support of humans when you have the support of God. Be thankful for that. And be thankful for knowing that. Be thankful that you can live to, you know, to get another day to get closer to your success. Be thankful for the smaller things. And that might be just enough to keep you going and keep you motivated. I also want to say, I saw this poster. You may have heard this. This may not be new to you. This whole concept of, you know, being 3 feet from gold. 3 feet. You might be 3 feet from gold. So you have to keep digging. And it's the concept of, you know, there's these gold miners. You know, they're looking for gold. They digging a long time, and they, right when they give up, and because they like, man, we've been digging for all this time. I guess ain't no gold down here. They give up. They leave their tools because they like, forget it. We could just leave these tools. We out of here. And some time passes. The next people come. They see the tools and they're like, oh, people was digging. So they just started digging. 3 feet of digging. 3 feet, and there's the gold. And so sometimes you got to remember, man, right now you might be just 3 feet from gold. In the Colin Kaepernick piece, his senior year, you know, his football team didn't make it to the championship as they were supposed to, you know, so he already didn't have any football offers. He had pretty much passed up his baseball, so it looked like he had lost everything. So he just was feeling really, really, really down. He had gotten himself into a slight depression, and all of a sudden, even the coach was like, man, you could play the JUCO. You could play the junior college football. And he was like, nah, son, I don't want to play at no junior. I don't want to play no JUCO. You crazy? Like, nah, I ain't doing it. I want to play at a university. And so at the end, towards the end, you know, Nevada, the University of Nevada, takes a chance on Colin Kaepernick. So he's able to play. I'm not 100% sure if it was scholarship or not. But he's able to play at the University of Nevada. And we all know that the story, well, we all don't know. But ultimately, he plays all 4 years. He graduates, and he goes in the second round of the NFL draft. Colin Kaepernick it was not a first round draft pick. He was a backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. The starter quarterback gets hurt. I'm not 100% sure of what season it was, if it was rookie season or not. But at any rate, the starter quarterback gets hurt. Colin gets his shot. He helps usher the team to a Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl. And the second go at it is Colin Kaepernick retained that starter position, and the next season he ushers the team fully on his back to a division champ, a conference championship. They didn't make it to the Super Bowl. And again, that journey was not linear. It was not just like, Of course, there were a bunch of setbacks and obstacles that he had to overcome in that process. But he believed in himself enough to accomplish his goal. Not just get a scholarship or not just go on to play college football, but to go on to the NFL and to get the highest goal possible, which was the Super Bowl. And so Colin won Super Bowl. Colin won conference champs. Colin had a great NFL short but great NFL career. And now he also is, now that he's accomplished that, he also realized that that is not the totality of him as a man. And so in your process of being an entrepreneur, just keep in mind and remember that the picture, the vision may be bigger than you can even see it at this time. And to stay in all of those moments, stay in the moment of sticking to your guns. Be present for yourself and for your experience. So that's that's what I wanted to share with you, fellow entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs. There's so many of us entrepreneurs who are not sharing our true experiences because we're unwilling to be vulnerable, and so we kind of live in our own lies. We live in lies. We live in the stories that we make up about what we're going through, because it's so dope to put yourself on a flyer, on a digital flyer, digital post, and say you're a CEO, say you're a boss, say you're an entrepreneur, say you're a founder of a startup. But we have to share in our community the challenges, right? And how we overcome those challenges for ourselves. So they say if you ever have writer's block, you push yourself to write. If you are having entrepreneurship block or entrepreneurial blocks, I would say continue to create and push yourself through it. And this only works if you believe in what you're working on, in your vision for yourself. That's the only way it works. And if you don't, if you faking the funk, then move, get out the way. This is your man, Big Stu, Scott Steward, Professor Steward. You already know what it is. Until next time, peace.